Alright, that was live. Who've we got here, Mass Master? How you doing? Seen you in the comments earlier waiting on the live. That's good to see, my man. Everybody else in? Showing 3 people anyway. So anyway, we'll just keep on talking and hopefully more people will come in. But I was out with my crawlers today. I was out with a TRX4, it's absolutely amazing, and the Element RC Sendero. No Shars there in the mod-in. Nice to see you. Just seen you 2 minutes go downstairs. But yeah, I had a great time with the crawlers. Got absolutely manky. Had a shower. Still feel all covered in dirt. So much mud. But the little 10 scale cars, they really impressed me. It's the fact the comments out. Yeah, the fact of what they can get over is amazing, and that just got me thinking about the Axial SCX6. So I had a look at that. I didn't know it was coming out or anything. It was kind of one of the cars that took me by surprise, and I was kind of all for it. Then I looked at the price, and it's like what's the thing? UK, it's £1,079, which is crazy money for an RC car. But moving past that part, 6 scale would be really a lot of fun, crawling wise. It's one of the things that I don't know, maybe bigger is better, maybe it's not. I'll have to watch a few videos of these guys getting one first before I ever think about getting it. But you think it's too big, Mass Master? Yeah, well, I think for some terrain the size would be really good, because obviously different challenges can go over different things. But for me, the price really puts me off. Is on Metal RC, how you doing? Yeah, the price is the thing, because, for example, Horizon, we all know overpriced stuff, but you've got the Kraton 8S, which I think you can get RTR for around about £900 UK. So a crawler coming in at nearly £1,100. It's got a 4S maximum capable ESC, and also it's pretty much the same part, same servo and all that. So I don't see where it can be more expensive, other than the fact of bigger novelty, new toy. But I don't think there's a lot of value in it for that extra money. I would think I would probably push 800 to maybe 850 for something like that. What we've got here, you need a truck to take out that truck. Yeah, you really do. I'd probably just get in the back of the Land Rover, to be fair. That's the thing though, because it does look cool just being giant, but it's, I don't know, it's a lot of money, guys, isn't it? But I've seen Gap reviews, I've seen he's got one, I've seen another couple of videos on it for some of the bigger channels. But the Bean 3S, I mean, well, I've not got a crawler on the shelf today. I usually have the Rift or something there. But yeah, 3S just seems, I don't know if it's enough power for something that size, to be honest. 1100 US as well, Metal RC. Yeah, so it's one of the cars that if it came down in price, I'd probably be all over it. Gaz in the house. How you doing, Gaz? See, me and Gaz were actually talking about the SCX6 and the price of it as well. I think he's kind of in the same opinion as myself. If it was full scale hard body, all metal, I'd think about it. Yeah, that's the thing. Metal RC is $1,100, which is, I think it's similar money and not too much difference from dollars to pounds. But for having that and a basher, I mean, crawlers are good, bashers are extreme, and you can kind of see where the toughness has to go and things. But it does seem overpriced for my liking. But I wouldn't say no if somebody gave me one, put it that way. But yeah, I think it's a lot of money. But the crawlers are, hey babe, guys trying to steal my women. But yeah, it's one of the cars that, yeah, I would like it, but I don't know if it's just purely for the size. Because another thing as well, I'm saying I'd like it, being to the UK and having a Land Rover Defender, I actually hate Jeeps. Jeeps aren't a thing that I really like. So if Traxxas, I wonder if they'll do something, if they'll bring out Now that Axial's got the 6 scale, if Traxxas will go along that line, bring out a 6 scale RC crawler, that would be interesting to see, but I don't think their prices would be any better, to be honest. Well, that's funny. But back to the today as well. Speaking of like Traxxas, I've had my TRX4 out, and if you watch the video, the wheel fell off it. It was pretty funny in the worst place it could possibly have happened. And I had my Element Sendero, and both of them were so much fun. And you can get the two of them in the car. I had to drive the two of them myself in the video because I was out on my own, which was pretty tricky at some points. But they're nice and light, and if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you run out of battery, you can carry them home. Whereas if you get the bigger car, if you think about it, if you run out of batteries, you're away in the woods somewhere, that's not going to be a lot of fun. More 6x6 options is what's needed. Yeah, more 6x6s would be good. I've got the Axial UMG 6x6, and I'll tell you something, that is a tremendous RC. I don't think it sold very well, obviously because of the Traxxas TRX6 coming out at that time, but that car is way underrated. It climbs over everything. Battery life's great. I've never had any issues with it. Although I say that, I've burnt a motor out in the same way I burnt a motor out on my Element Sendero today. It's just through thick mud and running through water, but easy fix, nothing, not a big problem. And we've been a brushed motor too. That's a good thing with crawlers. Like the brushed motors and all the parts are fairly cheap. So going up to 6 scale, like if your servo goes, what are you talking about? £60 UK, $60. I don't know what that would be. But hi Chainsaw, how you doing? But yeah, things as they get bigger, get more expensive. I've learned that a lot with the Kraton 8S too. Not that a lot's went wrong, but like a pair of tyres for the Kraton 8S is £80 UK here, and that's like pretty much the price of a pair of cheap, nasty real car tyres. So the bigger you go in RC, the more money it is for sure. Let's see what else we've got in just now. 7 people, 5 likes. Very good. Thank you. Be right back. Change it to the laptop. That's Charlene. I think Gaz has scared her off. Either that or she's away to meet Gaz and I don't know about it. Hey Dazza, how you doing? Yeah, so what are you thinking then, Dazza, on the SCX6 then? Are you interested in that? Is it something you'd like? Char must be back now. She's messaging you privately. Oh, you're some guy, Gaz. You been out with anything today, Gaz? You had any cars out or anything? Yeah, I think too big it possibly is. I mean, it is a good thing, like for what you can climb over and stuff. But like we were saying a few minutes ago, it isn't always necessarily better having a bigger car. For example, you can get a bigger car than this Hibeo Hyper GT. Doesn't mean it's faster or handles better or anything. It's just horses for courses, I suppose. Speedboats today with the crew. Yeah, I seen on the group chat and the WhatsApp guys. I seen the pictures of it. I didn't realise you were out. I thought that was T-Bor and the guys. What boat did you have out today? Was it the M41? Because I seen there was 2 of them in the picture. That's a thing as well I'll need to get out soon. As I've got the Traxxas Spartan boat, but a couple of my batteries have played up, so I need to get a new set for it. And the problem with it, probably the same with the Traxxas M41 and maybe your Sonic Wakes and all these other boats and that. The big 6 and 8S boats, they really kill batteries because you're not really supposed to go on the throttle for very long, which is hard not to do when you're driving on water. But you really need to get like really high discharge, like 100C plus batteries. So that's one thing that bugs me with the Traxxas as well, is you've got the Traxxas cell, the the Spartan and the M41, got crawlers on the mind just now. And Traxxas, their own batteries with their own battery connector that they do, which I don't know why they have to be awkward, is they only have like 30C or 25C discharge batteries, which are never going to last. So you have to get aftermarket versions of them. But yeah, when it comes to boats, you really need high discharge and high milliamp as well, because the runtime's shocking on boats. Dude, what's he saying? Yeah, he did say hit the like button, RC dude. You tell him. Traxxas Summit stuff. You've been talking a lot about that Traxxas Summit, Gaz, so you seem to be right into that just now. The wrong one again. I can only actually see the likes, so as usual though, I don't know if you guys, how many is actually follow my regular videos, but I don't know if it's Gaz or it's somebody else, but I seem to get this regular one dislike. So yeah, I'll have to narrow down who that is. See who else we've got here. Chat's got a little bit crazy. Yeah, Gaz pretended it was an accident. So everybody else had their crawlers out, or what cars have you had out this weekend? I was planning to get this out here because for my birthday, Charlene got me new electronics for it. So I've got it all stripped out. I've changed the motor. I've got an Arma 6S motor in there. I've got a Hobby Wing system coming into it, and the little rally track that you usually see me going on with my cars. What I'm planning on doing is making a different style track with all the tyres I've got, and try to get a really good little rally sort of video going on. So I absolutely love this car. I'm really going to do a lot more with it over the winter, I think, especially getting kind of meatier tyres, because we're running the Hoons, which are pretty good tyres on the road. They don't last long, but you can see they're kind of getting a little bit on the bolder side. But I really want to get like something grippy, sort of rally style for it. Might do another body on it too, because this one's starting to get beat up a bit now on the old bronze bomber. But this car's amazing. It's definitely one of my favourites. Not a big brand Hubeo, but I'll tell you something, I've had less problems with this than I had with my Arma Infraction and cars like that, and it's definitely as fast if you want it to be. It's gas. Have you been using the DR10? What do I think about drag cars? Actually, I've not used the DR10 for a little while, and it's not because I don't want to use it, it's because I love it, if that makes sense. So right now in Scotland, we had a really, really good summer, but it's starting to get sort of autumn time, it's a bit wet, a bit greasy, and I'm really obsessed with keeping that car clean. So I'm planning to do a few things over the winter with it, and maybe at the start of the year when we get a bit drier weather coming in, I'm going to get out for a few more runs, because I got a 2.9 on 2S 132 feet, which I was really happy with, but I wanted to do a few tweaks with it and try and get it a bit faster. My goal with that car is I don't want to change the electronics, which would be the easy answer to get more speed. I want to get more of the setup. So like I've got little dampers on the shocks, I've hardened the back end, I've changed the gear into a 75 tooth spur on it, and I think it's got a 26 or 27 tooth pinion. So I'm trying to get the most out what the car's got before I move on with the electronics, and I want to like get a parachute on it. That's something that I've seen you can get, and just do little bits to it over time. But that car is kind of more, it's more kind of a shelf clean, to be honest. It's just something unique, something fun, and I don't really feel the need to take it out all the time, because when you're chasing the speed, you're only going to disappoint yourself if you go out thinking you're going to get faster and faster every time. So initially when I got the car, I think it was like a 3.8 second speed I got over the 132 feet, and I've got that down to 2.9, which is a massive difference. But when you get under the 3 seconds, it really does get a lot harder. So things like tyres will need to change, and various other things, maybe put heavier diff oil in the back. I think it was Coach Steve was telling me, because he's really into drag cars, to put 500k in the rear diff. Well, it's only got one diff as it's rear wheel drive, but to put 500k in the back, which will hopefully get the wheels kicking and gripping a bit better. So yeah, that'll be out soon, but I've just got a little bit of work to do at first. What else have we got going on? Yeah, the M41 out with Tibbs. How do you like the M41, guys? Because when I got the Spartan, the M41 had literally just been announced to come out, and I still wanted the Spartan because I like V-Hill. I like how the boat leans and things like that, but the M41 does look like it turns really well and handles good. If anything, it looks possibly a bit more stable at sort of top-end speeds. The DR8, yeah, you keep mentioning that DR8. It's one of the cars that I would get, but every time I want a car, something else comes out. They keep on churning out so many models, and I just don't have enough money to keep on buying everything I want. I'd have to be like some kind of millionaire. Barbecue, how you doing? But right now, I think on my wish list still is it flips on big waves. See, that's one thing. You've probably seen the videos, guys, of me going swimming in the sea. That's one thing I hate with the Spartan is, I think the Sonic Wake's got an automatic self-righting stuff. A few other boats have got self-right, but Traxxas don't do self-right. And if you've got a recovery boat, it's fine. But I've got a dinghy now for when I go back out. But yeah, I've had to strip down to the pants a few times, jump in the freezing cold water from a boat. Once I actually had to get a guy fishing in Loch Lomond in Scotland. He was fishing, I had to wave him down. He had to go way out in the water with his boat, get a net and bring it back in for me because one of my solder connectors melted when I was out in the middle of the water. That was horrible. Get a blow-up boat and an electric waterproof pump. Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah, I've got that. I've not used it yet, but I'm definitely going to get that done within the next little while. Now you've got a dinghy as well, guys. Yeah, you need to be prepared with the boats because going swimming is not fun. I mean, you're in the UK as well. I'm sure England's just as bad water-wise as it's pretty cold. Even on a sunny day, the water here is like ice cold. You need to knock the cobwebs off your boats. Yeah, boats they're kind of the same as I am with general fishing. It's like one of the things that I like to do, and I'll not do it for ages, sometimes months or years. Then when I get back to it, I'm really into it. And I'm the same with RC boats. I've got one. I was going to sell it a while back, the Spartan, but I don't think I would because it's always there if you want a shot, and they are something special. And 6S boats are really impressive to watch and listen to when they're on the water. That caused mayhem that day. Yeah, it did with the boat. That's for sure, Charlie. You had to save your rift for a raging river. That couldn't be fun. I've done that before. I had another video a while back. It's got my Traxxas TRX4 last winter, and it was really icy. Everything was frozen over. So I was thinking ice road truckers. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a video when we drive all the ice, and it was going great. And there was a big, huge puddle, what I thought was a puddle. It was about 15 foot wide or something. So I started driving over it. I had my camera zoomed in and I was watching all the little cracks and ripples in the ice. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an awesome shot. This video is going to be so good. Then the next thing, the back wheel drops in. I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Then just the whole thing just goes like this, sinks down to the bottom. So I'm like, oh, my car's under the water. So I went and jumped in to get it, thinking it was only going to be about this deep. And it was about 4.5 foot deep. And it was ice cold water. I had to put my head under the ice, search about, not having a clue what I was looking for, to grab the car. And while I'd done this, I thought I'd be clever and video it. Because I thought, well, if I'm going to have to do something stupid like this, I'll get it on footage. And I hadn't pushed the record button right. I pushed the wrong button. So I only got a picture of me soaking after it and not in the water. That was a horrible day driving home. You chased it for almost 2 miles. Have you got a video of this chainsaw? I need to see this if you have. You remember that video, barbecue? Yeah. That was funny. Oh, still laughing at that. I remember just phoning my dad, well, my dad phoned me, so I'd been in the icy water, I've got the TRX back. Somehow it was still driving, I'll give it credit. The electronics were all fine, so I drove it back to the car. Didn't realise how cold I was till I put the heaters on. My legs were like blistered up. I was all pimples. I was shaking like this for ages. Couldn't even drive home for about 20 minutes. Oh, no video. That's a bummer. Yeah, that's the thing with water, but you forget sometimes because there's lots of times I'll go out with, say, a crawler and I think to myself, I'm going to keep it clean. I'm going to keep it clean. I'm not going to get wet because the bearings are all going off to replace them. But I see a puddle, I see anything water, it can make a splash. I'm aiming for that. Even if my head's saying no, my hand's just like, have to hit this puddle, have to hit this puddle. That's the way it goes with the cars. What else have we got going on here? Trust me, that water was freezing with the boat. And I'll never live it down. Yeah, that was the thing as well. The first time I had to go swimming for the Spartan, TRX 490. Oh, the video there, Master. Yeah. Yeah, the first time I had to go swimming for the Spartan, I was literally, obviously it was upside down. I'm like, oh no, I waited on the tide because it was in the sea and I thought the tide was coming in. But after about 2 or 3 minutes, I could see it was going further and further out. So it wasn't just the boat. You've got to think the boat's what, say, roughly £500 at the time. The batteries in it, that's probably another £200. And I had at the time my brand new GoPro Hero 7 Black on the boat as well. So you're talking, it's like over £1,000 on this boat floating out. So I was like, I'm going in. So I jumped in, freezing, straight in my pants and that before I jumped in, come out, Charlene standing there with my little daughter videoing me, laughing her head off, thinking it's hilarious. Yeah, so you need to get a camera for the times for sure, Chainsaw. Yeah, that's a true thing, Barbecue. I don't know why they don't have canopy seals, because when you look at the Pro boats, they've got the screws and they've got the rubber seal on it, and it's a no-brainer. You've got a boat, you should have that. That's like basics that they should have for sure. That's one thing that does irritate me a little bit as well, because even if you don't flip it, you're always coming back to that little bit of water that's got in there if you splash in, and unless you tape it up with sellotape or something, it's always going to happen. Did you not even recover that gas? You lost everything for good. That was been a sore one. I'd have been devastated if that was me. Old and slow, how you doing? Nice to have you. But yeah, when you're out with RCs or you're doing videos and stuff, people see like you can make it as good or as bad as you want. So if you do a crawling video, you can get all your good bits. But there's loads of times like see slipping in the mud, falling, things off camera that people don't see. And it'd probably make a funny video with somebody actually recording you making a video, because you can make a right fool of yourself sometimes. Gaz was playing submarine. Is there actually any RC submarines you can get? Like not like the camera ones like RC Sparks had with the cables and stuff, but actual real submarines that you can get. So that would be quite interesting actually if you could get one of them. Hey Blue, how you doing? Quite busy tonight, guys. There's 17 people on. Thank you very much. They all have cables. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to have like a little scale, don't know, like a 10, well, it wouldn't be 10 scale the size of a submarine, it'd have to be something like 100 scale or whatever, but yeah, it'd be something, if you had like the right area to use it, it'd be pretty smart. Have you got any video of that happening, Gaz, or anything? Don't think I noticed that one on your channel. Although, speaking of Gaz's videos, he had Charlene laughing, because obviously one of the good things I like, the reason I do the live, obviously I want my channel to grow, I want more subscribers. Everybody wants that. But I'm hoping my videos themselves will do that over time. But the live's just basically me for the people who have got subscribed and anybody else who wants to join, just to have a fun chat. But through that, people obviously last week with everybody subscribing to each other's channels and things, and Charlene decided to subscribe to Gazzy. So I heard her downstairs laughing her head off, like proper hearty laugh. And she's like shouting me down to watch Gazzy's video. And it was one of his mates falling and stuff in the mud, and it was so funny. So if that one's there, Charlene, you can maybe put that up for everybody else to see Gazzy's videos. That is a really funny video. Adidas RC, how you doing? Had to sell your collection? Oh, nightmare, my man. Not so good. That's the thing. Sometimes money-wise, we've all been there, and it could happen anytime, to be fair. As if you need to get money, there's not much you can do. But RCs, luckily, there is actually quite a good market for them. So they do hold money reasonably well. So that is always a good thing. I felt that they both ended in the water, thankfully. Blame the ex-wife. Oh, that's good. Not good for you, mate. It's just funny. Just made me laugh there. It's actually not a funny situation, but yeah, blame the ex-wife. Oh, Lauren, how you doing? Right. When it comes to the next, obviously we're talking about the, for everybody who's just came in or not seen, we're talking about the SCX6. That is kind of one of the cars that's pretty cool, but I think, I don't know why I've got in my head, I definitely want to get another Corrali or two. I love them, but I really, really want a Kyosho USA one. Just every time I look at that car, I'm just smiling, and I just want it to be like how I've got the DR10. So only use it in certain times and conditions, and not taking it out all the time. And I just like that to be sitting here for my videos because it just looks so cool. So does actually the Hyper GT, to be fair. This thing has been a lot of fun. Has anybody else here got wheels or anything? Oh, to be fair, Lauren, this live, it's really more my bad. I was going to do it last night, but I was working yesterday and I had all intentions of doing a live at night time. So I got everything prepared, all set up. I actually had I had the TRX4, I had the Sendero, had the Rift on the table. I was going to have a big crawling thing. So I got all prepared and it got nearer the time. And I basically just fell asleep on the couch. I was just, my week's work just caught up with me. I get up about 5 o'clock every morning, and to be fair, the job I'm in, as much as I love it, is quite physical and quite hard job. And sometimes we're getting older now, I suppose. That's like I get more and more tired. So that went downhill. And with this live tonight, what I done was, by the time I got back and edited the video for today's film, had a shower and stuff, came through. I was literally only about 15 minutes sort of alert I gave anybody to doing a live. So that wasn't really, that was a bad on me. So next time I do the live, what I'm going to do, I thought the Saturday might be better, but I'm working next Saturday again as well, try to get my pennies up. So I'm probably going to keep it on the Sunday, but I might put notification out on the Saturday. That way it gives it more time. Sergeant J, how you doing? Just seen Sergeant J's video earlier as well with his Techno MT, is it MT410 if I'm right? That truck looks an absolute beast. I've never had a Techno, but watching Sergeant J's one of that was really cool. It was taking an absolute beating. I was pretty impressed with that car, to be honest with you. You'll get an SCX6 in a year. I might too. I think it's overpriced and that, but it has got a cool factor. But it's probably got more negatives when you really think about it, like pricey parts to replace, tires, ESC in it's not really a lot for what you're paying for the money. all these things. It's got loads of negatives, but the size is a cool thing and it is a bit unique. I'm just hoping, because I'd like to think, I mentioned this earlier, Sergeant J, is Axial's done that now, so fingers crossed Traxxas might do it. Maybe they'll bring out a new TRX at that size or something. So I'd like to see a bit of competition before I went throwing cash at something like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'd like to see more body styles. So obviously I've got a Defender, I'd love a Defender, I've got the little TRX Defender, but even something different like an old Mitsubishi Pajero, or just something different, the Toyota Hilux, just something that's not the usual same old sort of body would be interesting. You drove past my track today, but just ended up going to the golf course. I was actually going to go up to that track today, Blue. There, I was planning on taking the Team Corrali Kronos XTR up there again, just because I had so much fun. But the real reason I wanted to go was to get the Hyper GT on the track, but the problem was my electronics didn't come in time. So Charlene paid. This frustrates me so much. She bought from Model Sport UK, who I'm not going to knock or say anything bad about anyway, because that company's fantastic. But they use DPD parcel service, and Charlene paid the extra money to get it the next day, and it never came the next day, and it's so frustrating. DPD have got to be the worst delivery service on the planet that I've ever used. You had the Typhon with you. That would have been cool. They've got a good wee race with that. RC Crawl, how you doing? Yeah, that is way bigger than the Marksman, you're right. I think is it the Red Cat, is it the Clawback or something it's called? I think that's probably closer on par. But that's a car I've never seen if you can even still get or not. Yeah, it's bigger just like the price. What think of the Red Hat Kaiju? I think that'd be good, to be fair. Red Cats are never a car I've had myself personally, but yeah, the Kaijus, for what I've seen, looked really good. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't say no to. But again, as we're all in the same situation, as you've only got so much money you can justify putting into your RC cars. So yeah, the hobby's not cheap. That is one thing it does kind of suck about it for sure. You'd like to have the SCX6 just to have one in your collection. Yeah, that's the same reason I would probably like it. There's loads of negatives, loads of things I could fault, like the price and stuff. But just knowing you've got an RC car, obviously got the Kraton 8S, and you've got like X-Max and things, but a big crawler, it's just gigantic. It is a nice novelty factor. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to entertain one till either the price drops or I see a lot more people with them, because another thing, not just with the SCX6, but I tend to find, and I got it with a laser nut, is if you buy a car, so you've got a YouTube channel, for example, you think new models coming out. If I get that first, get a video up, hopefully my videos will get seen more and I'll start getting bigger. That's kind of the way a lot of people think. But when you actually get a new RC car, you tend to find you're the guy that gets stuck with all the problems and all the issues and all the things wrong with it. For example, like the Axial Rift, when it came out, people were moaning about the handling it, the diff issues and stuff. I didn't get it because of that. I waited a bit longer and I got the Rift kit. And yeah, I've had a couple of minor issues, but I was aware of them already before I got it. And a lot of the faults, like the arms breaking or the strengthened bars and things like that. So you're not using yourself as a guinea pig, as a test subject to see how things are working out. You're getting it after a lot of people have drove it and issues are discovered, and hopefully things are resolved in the factory. That's a big thing for me with getting cars first all the time. Let's see what we got there. Yeah, you feed a family. Yeah, I'm the same. We've got obviously me, 3 girls, Charlene. So yeah, that's a lot of outgoings before we start getting into the toys. Yeah, that's it. Don't get stuck into the, you have to get everything new coming out. It doesn't work. That's why if you watch a lot of my videos, a lot of it's cars I've had a long time, like the TRX4. I like making videos with it because I enjoy the car and I enjoy taking it out. Hibeo Hyper GT, I've done a lot of videos with. Nobody really buys Hibeos very often, or if they do, they don't put them on YouTube a lot. But I don't care, I just enjoy the car. I start just doing more things for what I enjoy. If the subscriptions come up with that, good. If not, I don't care. I've got a smiley face in the weekend, and that's why I do it. And I'm sure pretty much all you guys here, that's why we do the RC, because we love it and it's fun. What's this we've got there? Barbecue channel. Yeah, get subscribing to each other, guys. That'd be good to see. Oh, it's only money, so can hobby. Try to catch up for these. I've been too busy looking at myself chatting there. I have to try and catch up a bit with some of these comments if I've missed anything. Some company just made a 6-scale chimney as well. What company is that? Does anybody know? Do you know that barbecue? I've not actually heard of that. There's another one as well that I think it was the same one that RC Sparks had in his video today. But there's like Dakar trucks that are 14 for 12 scale, and I think it's a UK company. And if you're on Facebook, and because I follow a lot of RC things, I keep on getting adverts for them. I wish I actually wrote it down to tell you, but they've got not RTRs yet. I think they've got all the stuff for it. It looks like early stages, but they seem to be bringing out a different sort of Dakar trucks and things that are a bit different. You'll research it. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see barbecue. That's something that I've never picked up on myself, to be honest. But there's a Jimny. That's another car that I'm not a fan of in real life, but it's good to see another body out there, because you don't want to get stuck with the same cars all the time. You want some things a bit different. Somebody else also brought a Jimny out. It's like comes in a case. I think it's like a 18 scale or something, a little one. Maybe it's similar size to this, but the scale on it was pretty ridiculous. It was pretty impressive, to be fair. What's that we got there? I think if I sell my G-Speed and Dual Geek. See, that's the thing. If you sell the 3 cars, you can maybe get enough money for the SCX6. So at the same time, if you spend, say, £1,100 UK, you potentially could have 2 or 3 RC cars for the price of the one. So you're going to have to really want that bad to actually invest the money in it. I like toaster cars, though. Yeah, the FNS. Is that the same one? It comes in that one I'm thinking of. Is it a yellow one that was like reviewed, but for being 6 scale, is it not still pretty small, to be honest? Is the shirt completed now? When you're going to have a video of that, Sergeant J? That's a car I really look forward to seeing. I like how you've went out the box there and got something really unique. That's really cool. Yeah, Bobby Keogh's got the most modified cars I've seen. Every time you look on his channel, he's got something really cool that nobody else has thought of, which is a great thing with the hobby, because it can be as creative as you want it to be. You can keep things RTR standard, or you can go the extra mile and do so much body work, motor work, gearing, whatever you want. There's so much you can do. Your IFS Sendero would probably fetch in your local market. Is that the IFS? Is that the independent wishbone suspension front end kit? Is that the one I'm thinking of? You're on about with that? Because I've seen that. I think, yeah, that kit. Because I think I've seen that. I was looking at it for my Sendero, but I wasn't actually too sure. I thought it was cool just to be different, but how's it on performance compared to your live Axial? Is it still quite good at climbing and crawling? It looked like it might be a bit more limited on sort of, especially going up rocks at sort of angles and things. I might be wrong, but that's how I sort of felt about that kit. Oh, so you got rear steering on that as well? That'd be pretty interesting. Yeah, old and slow. It'll be interesting to see if that is at the takeoff of 1.6 crawlers or if it'll just be a flop. It's a hard one to say, but it's all to do with cost, I think. Initial buy-in, because it's easy when you've got big channels showing you these things, oh, go get this is cool. But realistic working guys, it's a lot of money to put out on a car. The most expensive one I've ever bought was the Kraton 8S. And as bad as I wanted that, as soon as I put in the little basket, and you've all had this feeling, you look at something, you put in the basket, you take it out. You look at something, you put in the basket, you take it out. The next day, you look at it, you go back in the basket, you take it out. Do about 100 times. That's what I get with Charlene getting me. Just buy it if you want it. Just buy it all the time. Then eventually, you have a couple of beers or something, and you're like, I'm clicking that dangerous little button right there. Then it's like checkout complete. Then your stomach goes and you get that horrible sick feeling. It's like a guilty, like, oh, what have I done? What have I done feeling? And that's there until your delivery comes. Then everything changes when you've got the car. But yeah, big outgoings like that, it's not easy for sure. If they want to share their channel, let me know. Yeah, let Charlene know and share all the channels, because I don't know if most people here were here last live as well, but yeah, you definitely get that feeling. It's not just me then. I'm really bad for that. I mean, I've got a lot of RCs, and I don't think there's one that I've never had that sick feeling, to be honest, when I buy it. Because you try to justify it to yourself. You're like, oh, but I could do this, I need this, I want this. Then when it comes to the cash coming out your bank, it's like, oh no, what have I done? Yeah, when it comes, it all changes for sure. It does change. You get that big smile on your face, you've got a new toy, can't wait to get it out, and yeah, it's definitely good. Not going to lie, you got too much money. I still do that. Wife says, just get it, you deserve it. Yeah, I'm the exact same, Sergeant J. I wouldn't even want to say on the channel how much money I've probably got in RCs, or at least invested into it. It's kind of disgusting amounts, just adds up over time. But yeah, I get a lot of support, to be fair. I'll give Charlene a lot of credit for that. Never any complaints from me doing it. But yeah, it's a hobby that you start off, say you buy this, go, you know what, for years I've not had an RC car, I'll get this. A year, 2 years down the line, you're hooked. You keep buying more and more and more, and you want, oh, but this one does this one can go there. Oh, I want a plane now. Oh, I'd like a drone. And you get really carried away into it. It's the most fun, and probably one of the most expensive hobbies you can do. I mean, people might disagree, but I mean, you're starting to get in the realms of having a real nice actual car for what you're investing in all your RC cars together. You got too much money in batteries, barbecue. To be fair, that's something I've not anymore. I did have, but a few of my batteries I've had for a long time are starting to fail now, so I'm kind of limited. I've got, in fact, one still sitting there for the last time I've done a video. I've got two of these, which are incredible batteries. Best batteries I've ever had. These Centro 7600 milliamp 4S beasts. They'll literally run even the Kraton 8S for absolutely ages. Best battery on the market, in my opinion. And I've got a couple of 3SAs, and I've got 4 2S batteries. But yeah, I need to get more 3SAs, especially for the Spartan. That's why it's not been out for a long time. I need to get high discharge ones for that. But when you look at batteries, that's another thing too. A set of good batteries is almost the price of a car, realistically. So it's kind of, you need batteries to run the cars, but batteries is like buying a new cooker or something. It's like something you need, something you're going to use every day, but something you don't want to let your cash go on. It's one of the weird things. You'd still love a 5T, but not as long as the life's breathing. Yeah, Central, yeah, check them out, Sergeant J. They're cheap, they're really quite cheap. I used to use Gen's Ace, and I've seen these. These were, I think for the size, they're about £75, £80 UK, and I'm not joking, they're 100C, but the power that comes out of them is absolutely ridiculous all through the charge, and just the life of them is just amazing. They're hard cased, no problems whatsoever. Balanced storage, charge them all the time. But yeah, that is a battery that I really think is fantastic. Don't hear any channels talking about them, and again, I'm not a big enough channel to be affiliated with anybody anyway, really. But I'm not got any. It doesn't benefit me saying that's not true if that's not how that is how I feel about it, basically. So it's not worth me lying to you. I would say that is a fantastic battery. Look, what have we done? Oh, I must have hit the button there and put the screen off. So she ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, you picture RC Rehab turning out like sex addict meetings. Yeah, that, drugs and alcohol, it's all the same thing. But I'm sure sex addicts have got a smile on their face. But I mean, drugs and alcohol probably a bit miserable. But yeah, it's not the worst addiction to have in some ways. You could be doing a lot worse things with your time and money for sure. So it's pretty harmless fun, isn't it? But it's just, realistically, the hobby is expensive as you want it to be. Like, take the SCX6, X Max, Cretan 8S, Outcast 8S, super expensive cars. But on the other side, you've still got these little cheap things, and they all do the same thing. If that's your budget, that'll make you smile just as much as, say, this or something. It's a hobby that's got lots of different cool things about it. My name is Bobby and I have an RC problem. Problem is you're running out of room. Yeah, I've been kind of the same, to be fair. I sold a few cars, but every time I sell one, I kind of, as much as I'm like, yeah, I'm not using it, I do regret it a few months later. I'm quite a hoarder with my RCs. I don't like to let them go, but I've sold a few over time, and every one I've always kind of wished I never done that. What's this? Do you agree with this is? To put shelves on the upper perimeter of your bedroom. 666 RCs, how you doing? Yeah, the RCs, it's kind of a problem, isn't it? There's so many released, and there's so many cool ones that you want. There's the odd thing you're like, I wouldn't get that, but for every car you wouldn't get, there's 5 or 6 that you'd really want. So yeah, it's just one of the hobbies for sure that does catch up. You got a few I can buy. What you selling, Gaz? Your RC collection is definitely becoming a problem with the lady. How many you got, 666? I think mine's just now, I sold a few. I think I'm down to about 25, I think. Round about that mark anyway. I don't think that she does it. I'm going to start focusing on a perfect lineup so I can do everything I can in RCs. What do I want? I don't know, guys. Depends on the price. I think you probably owe me a free car anyway, to be honest with you, just for the way you've been chatting my missus up and stuff. So, yeah. I got a WL about a year and a half ago now. I'm 5 deep in 10 scale and armours and HPIs. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I'm definitely live chat. Hi. I've been dabbling in RCs for 30 years or so now. Solid collection to appease ex-wives. Yeah, go racing in the chat, that'd be interesting. You just building the TLR up just now. Let's see what's got these chats. Lots and lots of stuff going on here tonight. Quite surprised how actually many guys I've got here, considering that I've any notice for you for me doing this, which I'll definitely be doing for the next live for sure. The Hibeo SST, is that the short course truck one? The sort of 8 scale short course truck, is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, the 23 teeth servo horns. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. It's just so stupid. 25 teeth's where it should be. If you have a missus and you give me the X Max but no lipos. I'll tell you something, you'd be handing her back when probably a few hours, guys, like. You're not up for grabs. That's a relief, I suppose. Meant to be talking about RCs when they were like auctioning off my missus. Well, that's one thing that's really good with doing these lives. You do get a good wee laugh with it. It's quite a nice wee chill out as well on a Sunday night when you know you've got work in the morning and just got you guys on having a wee laugh and a giggle. I really do enjoy this, to be fair. It's good fun. Gasby's wee sad face. So, if Sergeant J is still here, yeah, just want to find out more about your Techno, because that was a car. How much was that for the kit for that, or was it an RTR? That's something that looked really, like I say, Sergeant J's videos. If you go and check his channel out whenever he's got a chance, look at that Techno. I think it's MT410. That's a really, really nice car. Let's see if we can find out. Yeah, I know that's why no life was. So when I get these this new Hobby Wing ESC and stuff for this, what kind of style of track do you think I should do for that place where I've got all the tyres? So I've got it set as an oval just now, but I was thinking of like maybe like a figure eight or maybe something just with a few different kinds of turns and stuff, because this thing is a drifting beast and I want to get really sideways around the. I think I could do a whole track with this car sideways. It's so controllable. That's something I really want to try and do next. Did I learn the difference between live and top chop chat? Yeah, I did. I've got on live chat just now, but Charlene came up, asked me if I had it right, and I'm not sure if it's going right, but it says on my screen live chat, so hopefully it's how it should be. Starting to get a little bit more familiar with this, but the only thing I'd like to be able to do is, I'm noticing looking at the screen here, is everything's backwards, so I don't know if there's a way I can flip my camera around so all the writing like on this cup that might get Charlene to fill soon if I'm lucky is is on the right way around. But you did remind me before we went live. It's actually not a lot to go on live, but it's quite odd when you're doing it, because you've obviously got little live, and I don't even know what top chat is, what the difference is personally, but having that, looking at yourself, seeing the time you're on, likes, people watching, is honestly my 4th live chat I've done now, but I'm starting to feel slightly comfier with it. And I've got what's it called? I think it's called OBS. I was saying it's like our thing you can use. So what I'd like to be able to do, like for example, is we wanted to talk about the SCX6 and things like that. So I'd like to be able to have some kind of way that I can flip the screen for me, or at least put in like the corner just a little video of it running, just so people can see what we're talking about, or we can go on, look at diagrams and parts and things like that. So I'm going to need to learn how to do that, but yeah, everything's just a learning process when you start doing it to begin with. I'd be buzzing to do live streams. Why don't you just go for it then, 666? Shouldn't there be anything stopping you? You buy all your batteries from... You get them in a couple of days. Basically everything comes from China anyway, doesn't it? So that's one thing, like I was saying, with these central lipos that I was talking about earlier. I say they're a bit blurry there. I think they're better than my Gen Ace, but realistically, they're probably made in the same factory or pretty much same stuff. I don't think brands have got too much of a difference realistically in some certain things. I'm at 950 subs. Oh, do you have to be 1,000 subs to do the? Because I never actually thought about lives until like a few weeks ago. As a limit to doing subs before you can go live. What's the? Yeah, we should do an open panel, but that's something that I'm going to have to learn how to do, because I'd like to get a lot of you guys on with me, so with like a multiple screen, that'd be pretty cool. So I'll try and figure that out for either the next live we do if I get a chance, just because I've been working like 6 days for the next couple of weeks. But once I can get that done, we'll do a live panel, because that'll be quite fun, having like more faces on the screen, get more of a joke with each other and stuff like that. So yeah. Who'd all be down for coming on? It looks like Gaz would be down for coming on. Who else would want to come on if we do this? You're 840 subscribers away from doing your first live video. We just want to see your first video, Master. What's it? You don't have to have 1,000 to go live. You just don't get your community wall or super chats until 1,000. Right, okay. See, Charlene seems to know a lot more about YouTube than I do, for sure. Like, I just like editing my little videos, putting them up, and seeing how they get on. That's kind of all I really do. And now getting into the lives, which is pretty cool too. StreamYard. Yeah, I've heard about StreamYard. So I think, do you get that app and you have to get your YouTube link onto that and it works through that or something like that? Because I think you can do like backgrounds and green screen things and all that. Yeah, anybody who's not 666, get subscribed, get them up to his 1,000. If that we can help him do that, that would be great. Super 3's menus again. I feel like I've been chatting I don't know if I'm chatting more tonight than usual. I'm in a really chatty mood, but I'm been quite bad for actually not reading these comments as I'm going down. So I need to kind of keep on top of this. Multitasking is not my thing, that's Charlene's. Oh, I've got things coming up on my PC screen now, I shouldn't have touched that. No worries if it gives me something to do while you guys are all chatting cars. Nice one, Chainsaw. Subscribe to that's good. Another thing that I might start doing videos again as well is I might start getting back into my planes soon too. Because what I usually find here in Scotland anyway is winter, you get October's really windy, so November is the same, but when you start getting towards December and the really colder weather, there's a lot of really still sort of nights and skies. So I might try and get some of my plane stuff back out again soon as well. Anybody else any planes here? Yeah, let's get up to today's first video. Swedish guy, how you doing? Hope all's well with you too. You've been looking at the new Etchin, is that how you say it, plane? Yeah, that's something I've not heard either. It just because I've got the carbon cub and stuff like that, I was probably that was what got into it. But I've not been watching a lot of the new stuff coming out. The only one that's not even too new that I was quite interested in was the air tractor. I like the sort of look of that, just the sort of old school crop duster sort of look. Yeah, you, Mir, nice to have you here. You like my drone videos? Yeah. The thing with drone videos, I love doing them, but they don't actually get a lot of views. I spoke to another few guys as well. I think Moby876, I was talking to you about it. He likes doing the occasional drone ones as well, and they never seem to be too popular, but I suppose it's one of the things. Cal's RC Adventures, how you doing? Need to get the drone back out as well, actually. I've really tried really hard, I think it was last year or the year before, is to get my drone to follow my plane. And I just couldn't get it to work because it's got an automatic lock on. And I would get for a certain point and it would lose lock. And I thought if I could eventually one time get the drone to properly lock onto a plane and follow it, it would be pretty cool. Because for me going out on my own, and even if I go out, my dad sometimes comes out with me because he does a lot of photography and he's really good at photography. And so we go away in the woods or wherever we are with the cars. He likes taking these sort of pictures of birds and animals and things. And then he I don't think he could fly the drone to actually, or if he could, not well enough to follow. And it's kind of quite limited. Did helicopters for a while. Yeah. Helicopters is something I've never ever really fancied. The only one I've had was basically a toy shop grade. It was like a little what do you call them? Chinook. It was a twin bladed one, and they used to fly it about the house and land it on like my cup of tea and things. That was as much as I went with helicopters. Then Charlene got me a slightly bigger one, which is again it was a shop called Mankind in the UK. I don't know if any of you guys know it, but it was fair size. It was probably about that, and it went quite high, but it was really limited controls, and I crashed that. But yeah, it kind of put me off them. And when you see the big proper scale helicopters, you always think to yourself with the blades, if anything goes wrong, that's pretty scary to be hit with one of them or something like that. So yeah, I don't think they're very safe for my skills anyway. I can do loops, flips, inverted plane flight and stuff, but when it comes to helicopters, I'm keeping myself away from that. I'll end up losing a few fingers or something. What's this here? Yeah, I seen the new Crowley Knuckles. I'm super excited for them. Although my XTR's not gave me any issues since my little fix, that's a really good thing about Team Crowley for sure, is they've actually listened to feedback for all us guys, probably on like the Facebook groups and things, which I like to see with companies. So if a company's listening and improving things, it's for the benefit of everybody. But they've came out with a much more strengthened. So I think it's some ridiculous strength they're claiming that the new pivot hubs I've got for the cars. And yeah, so anybody who's had the Chronoses or the Jambos with the problem, that seems to be resolved. So unlike say Horizon with the laser nut, who just forget about it and keep selling the same trash. That's another thing I like with Crowley is they get a problem. I mean, even their manager, well, sorry, not manager, their owner guy had been in touch with me when I messaged them about it way back, saying that they were trying to look into doing something, and they've actually improved it to the point now where they've got a released set for the car. So I'm looking forward to getting a set of them and start sending my XTR even higher than I do, hopefully. I love that car so much. It's definitely my favourite. So I need to get my Radix 6 back out though. That's stripped down just now because I was in a stage. What I've done with the Crowley Radix is I've done a bit of road stuff with it and I've done a bit of off-road. But I've decided to strip it down and I'm going to rebuild it into something a little bit unique. And I want to try and get it really, really fast, although it is fast, but like talking like maybe 130 mile an hour road car with it or something. So that's a plan I want to do for over the winter when I can't go out at nights. Start doing a little bits of tweaks and stuff with it, get an 8S system in it. The only thing with the Radix, because it's low, is getting the right 8S back, well 4S packs in it to make 8S, working out the space. So that car's got a few things going on with it. But in the meantime, another car that I wouldn't mind for Crowley is the Radix 4, because a lot of the time when I'm off-road, doing the 4S is usually what I use for my videos, because even with this car, the Hibeo, any car I take off-road, 6S, realistically, I think's too much. For handling, you can do more flips with 6S, but for handling and just traction on the road, 4S is the way to go. One of the guys with the gas turbine Airwolf. Oh, that would be amazing. Airwolf's amazing. I just learned a true fact about the Airwolf helicopter I didn't actually know a few weeks back. As I didn't know the actual one of the TV series was crashed and people died in Germany. So it got transported for some show to be used, or some mountain rescue, something like that. They took it somewhere up mountains, and it crashed into the trees, and yeah, that's gone, doesn't exist anymore. That was something I'd never knew had happened, just for obviously Airwolf as a kid and growing up and watching the series, but I didn't know the real helicopter actually got destroyed. That must be the V1 arms. Yeah, I've never broken an arm on my Crowley at all. I've just had the pivots pop. That's the only thing I've had with mine. I don't think it's a V2 XTR. I think it's just an upgrade for the car. So obviously the little pivot, I done a video about it when it first happened, because I must have been on sort of the very earliest people to get a Kronos XTR. And after a couple of small rolls initially, the pivot seemed, it was either the cups were too big or the balls were too small, whatever we look at it. But if you had a sort of, it never ever broke anything. It was just a bit frustrating. As if you had a sort of sideways landing or you landed on a front wheel, every now and then it would pop out. So when I put the bigger pivot balls in, the car's been bulletproof since. So now that they've actually, you don't have to mod that yourself and they've improved that, it's only a great thing. So I'd like to, hopefully the whole lineup will get that. And with this new Skeeter they've got coming out, another car that's on my want list, but I don't know enough about it yet to say too much. As yeah, I'm really looking forward to things coming with that company for sure. I just like all these other companies that aren't Horizon and Traxxas, to be honest. I'm finding it a lot more fun getting things a bit more unique. And like I say, with my Hibeo here and stuff, I've had in general less problems with smaller manufacturer companies. You get a simulator if you're going to fly, it saves you a ton of money. Yes and no. Yes and no. A simulator is fine for if you're not sure it up, down, and how to fly in general, you can learn that. But the real learning comes not if you're taking off and flying, but when you've got your own plane, you've invested that money in, and you're coming to land it. That's when it really just experience just helps, and just really taking your time. You can get a lot out of the simulators, but it's like a car racing game. You can drive a car with your pedals and steering wheel or whatever, but when you're actually out doing it, there's a difference with it. Your next truck will be the Associate RC8T. Yeah, that looks good as well, to be fair. Associated seem to be doing quite a few good things just now as well. As much as I'm saying about Corrali, they seem to be doing good too. But yeah, the more companies that bring out the more cars, the better it is. Hopefully keep the prices down as well. Is there any news? Is that Swedish guy, if he's still here, hopefully? Is there any news on when the Skeeter is getting released yet? Because that's a car, like I say, it looks like a Max. It's hard to see for the little clips that I've seen on the internet with it, but it does look super cool. And there's so many cool cars coming out, but that is one that Corrali's got coming that really excites me, to be honest with you. What I've got now. Try to read through the comments again, guys. Excuse me. Let's go. I've got. Try to make sure I've not missed anything they said here. Anyway, I don't think I have just gone down that. It's a lot busier than I actually thought it would have been with this chat. But yeah, the RCs I see obviously what we're talking about there, the Corrali Skeeter, old and slows, what the new Team Associated, well, the Team Associated truck. There's always something to want. it's a killer hobby for sure. Like, you want more than your bank will let you at times. Well, that's what I missed. Gaz has got Helis. I've never seen them on your channel, Gaz. I've seen a lot of your FPV drone stuff, but I've never seen the Helis for sure. Don't forget to hit those thumbs up, people. Well, thanks, Master. What we actually thumbs up there? What, 19 thumbs up, 19 people in. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Team Associate sales for $619 US. So that'd be about 600 here. How are you guys enjoying these lives anyway so far? It's something we still want to keep up. I'm enjoying doing them, but just make sure you are all the same. And if you even want to pick a topic for the next one or something, it's up to yourselves. I'm just happy just to yap away nonsense and see what happens. A kit with no tyres and electronics. Well, that's quite steep for a kit, to be fair. NorCal, how you doing? lives are great. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying them. So it's a lot of fun. I just find it quite relaxing. The first one I done in my shed, I was kind of a bit confused with what was going on, especially when RC Sparks on as well, and him with all these super chats making me like, what's going on here? Kind of blew my mind a bit. But in general, yeah, now I'm more relaxed there. I'm finding it a bit more fun. I don't feel like I'm overthinking it as much now, because when you're live, you only get one take. So if I say something stupid, which I probably always do, that's it up there. So you've got to make sure that you get comfy with knowing it, just be yourself and just let things go how they're going. You're looking forward to an open panel, Char? Yeah, we'll definitely do that. I'm going to work out this StreamYard thing I've been told about. Big one isn't, because you can only fly at the club. But do you need like a license for that, Gaz? Is it like a scale replica, or is it just like a general big sort of one of the stunt ones that you've got? This guy Gaz seems to have everything, by the way. But yeah, regarding the lives, I do find that like it's just cool. It's just different. Obviously, like I like my editing, making little videos, and if you haven't, please watch my video for today with the crawl, and that was a lot of fun to do. Losing the wheel sucked, but burning the motors out, but that was so worth it with the little crawlers. It was good. I know why he's an X now. I need to clean trucks. I'll be doing more nitro during the winter. It's more fun for me, and the engines run all day when you get them warmed up. Yeah, nitro. It's the only nitro I want. It's the USA one. I need to get one nitro in my collection for sure. That is one I'm going to add, definitely. But like I said, when we're talking about the Corrales with that Swedish guy coming on, I really quite interested in that Skeeter too. So I want more cars than I can afford. So I need to be nice to Charlene and see what I can get for Christmas. Maybe Charlene, if you're there. The best cheap crawler to start you off? I would say the best cheap crawler I ever had was the Charisma SCA1E. It was a Range Rover I had. Spell nice, Paul. The Charisma, that was a really good one. I think that was around about 230 or something like that. It was, the only thing with it is the steering lock's not as extreme as a lot of the other more expensive crawlers. FTX, that's another good one as well. But yeah, the cheap crawlers are fine. You can add a lot of stuff to them. So if you've got a cheap one to start with, you can add more bits to it. And to be fair, the Sendero that I had in my video today is a little bit more expensive than the Charisma I was talking about. But that's probably double the car, to be fair. The electronics that come with the Element RC Sendero are butter smooth. You can really throttle control it, and it'll crawl super slow and nice. It's just a nice feeling car to drive. The only downside to that car for me is I think the body shell is a bit flimsy. I wish they'd made it with a thicker Lexan and you wouldn't see it wobble as much. That's the only thing that annoys me a little bit. But you could probably get rid of that by getting like Gorilla Tape or something on the inside of it. Would probably take that away. What else have we got going on here? The Nitro Terrier Crusher. Yeah, Nitro's something I say I've not seen for years and years of the Nitro, but yeah, I think to have one little screaming car in your collection is good. I wouldn't get another petrol again, I don't think, because I had a bit of problems with them before, but they're probably easier in some ways, but they're big and bulky. And I always think when it comes to any sort of fueled car, nitro, petrol, whatever you want, is they're never as fast as electrics. They sound good, they look good, but electric, realistically, you know, you can plug it in, push start, it'll go. You can gear them different. Weather doesn't, like Sergeant J saying about running in the winter with the nitros. You don't need to worry about that when it comes to electrics. There probably is a better way to go, but to have one in your collection, if you're a collector like most of us guys seem to be, yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have. Fossil fuel sucks. I agree with that, apart from real cars, because I mean, when it comes to things like Teslas, I personally hate that idea because they try and make it like, this may be going a bit deep for RC chat, but they try and make it like it's cleaner. Guys like me running like big diesel engine 4x4s are wrong, but all these lithium mines and all this child slavery to get all these batteries, all the stuff they hide behind it. If the whole country, like the UK for example, everything's an electric car, where does all that power come from? There's a lot more things about real cars being electric that I don't really agree on, but engine fuel's becoming a sort of thing now as well. But that's a topic for another channel. It's not RC. That's just something I would take on there. It can go for safety reasons. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is be near people. That's what scares me getting one myself, to be honest, guys, is I don't trust myself learning how to do one of them. Nitro like working for a lawn service all day. We have a dislike again. That's probably my little serial disliker. I think I've got a little stalker somewhere who just likes, because there's some videos I'll put up in a second. I've not even watched it myself and I got a dislike. So I seem to have one little fanboy who just likes to do that. And I just get a wee laugh at it. I think it's quite funny. Slow, dirty and smelly. Yeah, they are slow, dirty and smelly, but sometimes the smell is pretty cool. They use battery anyway. That's true. You need a battery for your steering and your brakes, don't you, and your throttle. Yeah, barbecue. There's always going to be haters. If you've got haters, you're doing something right. Like for example, I'm saying I've got one guy who seems to, well, I presume it's one guy because it always seems to be when I upload a video pretty fast, I will spell it where everyone gets a dislike straight away. But if I'm doing something to make somebody dislike it, that makes me smile because maybe my little sick mind, but if I'm doing something that I like, it annoys you, I'm happy, to be fair. Yeah, dislike still a view. That's the way I look at it. Dislike away doesn't bother me. But on general, like from my point of view, if I watch a video for any channel, RC, something random I'm just watching, and I don't like the video, I just move on to the next video. I never feel the need to go, I'm going to go out my way, get this little mouse and click a dislike. I mean, I don't really see the point in it. It doesn't really achieve anything, doesn't even affect your statistics, doesn't affect anything with your channel. Maybe if I put a video out and I became really abusive and I got thousands of dislikes, yeah, that's going to affect your YouTube in some way. But one little dislike's not annoying anybody. Yeah, I agree. You have a sick mind, Paul. Sometimes I do, yeah. Yeah, all dislike or like still helps the algorithm, yeah. I don't know why they bother misery loves. Yeah, I don't know why they bother either, because Like, if you don't like a video, just move on. Like, don't take your time to go and click it. It's pretty sad. It is really kind of pathetic. Yeah, thumb's a thumb. That's right. So is this Axial SCX6 actually YouTube spam, or will it be a hit? Do you think? Yeah, we did talk about it earlier. I'm quite happy to go back to that Swedish guy. I don't really know. It all depends. To me, it's overpriced for sure. As much as there's a lot of things I like about it, like you could crawl different things, the sheer size, more scale detail on a bigger model. It's got a lot of nice things. But when you break that car down, you've got, say, a Kraton 8S that's kind of for Horizon as well. It's got 8S electronics. It's got the same servo as it. It's got more probably expensive parts in it. And it's the SCX6 is coming in dearer. So it'll depend how many people go out their way to get it. And if companies like Traxxas, who else does crawlers, Red Cat, if all these companies do one, maybe it might take off. But it's too early to tell just now. Bigger isn't always necessarily better when it comes to RC. So I don't know, but you could probably get two really good RC four-wheel drive crawlers or a TRX and I don't know what else you'd want to get. I'm trying to think of another car that's different. One of the Absima Sherpas, you could get three of them for the price of one car. So yeah, I don't know how it'll do. Yeah, that's the thing. You like the size aspect. We all do. That's what's intriguing. If Axial had brought that car out in 14 scale or something like that, nobody'd care. But because it's big in your face, it grabs the attention. It does. They've done a good job marketing wise, especially the advert they've had it and stuff. It's got a lot of eyes on it. It's got me talking about it tonight. Probably everybody who's in the RC still talking about it. But whether it becomes a thing is too early to say, and what aftermarket support it'll get. Because, like I say, with the Kraton 8S, a pair of standard tyres for that are £80 UK for like model sport anyway. So who's going to bring out tyres for it? Who's going to want to pay the money for all the aftermarket bits? There's a lot of factors to see how that'll go. So if I ever do end up getting one, it'll probably be second hand, and it'll probably be sometime next year. But by then, I've moved on to something else. Like I say, the Crowley Skeeter's coming out. I want the Kyosho USA one. There's two cars I want that would probably be the price of that one car combined. So lots of guys are going to look at it that way. If you go like, there's two cars you could get to the one, you have to really have that really, really strong want for the car to go out your way to do that. Yeah, the review videos is what I want to see. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. The one thing with it being a 6 scale as well is it's still 3S, which is, I know it can go 4S, but I think the motor's only 3S compatible. Is I don't know what kind of runtime you're going to get on that, unless you've got big batteries like this size, the 7600, which has been really handy for this LiveStream sitting there. If you've got batteries that size, maybe, but a 5,000, 4,000 milliamp battery, you're not going to get very long out that car. Be more after the Skeeter. Yeah, so would I, to be fair. Probably a lot more fun as well. I mean, little 8 scale, 10 scale trucks, there are a lot of value for money and fun factor for sure. If I got, I think, the 79 Ford truck or Bronco body, yeah, that'd be cool. 10 scale was a sweet spot. 10 scale, I think for crawlers, 10 scale is the absolute sweet spot. For off-road cars, like speed stuff and bashing, I think 8 scale for me is right where it is. But yeah, it really just depends on where you live and what you've got to run. So, like say, road cars, if you live in some of these big, the American areas with the big, huge, nice flat roads, a 7 scale limitless is great. Where you live where I am, and I had one, it wasn't the best of cars because there's not a lot of places to use it. So it really just depends where you're running things. You guys watch the RC Sailors? No, I don't really watch RC sailors. I've seen them a couple of times, but I'm not channel dissing or anything like that. But I just don't really. I don't really feel like they're very knowledgeable, and they just. I do feel sometimes like, I don't know, it's just not for me. Basically, I'm not going to say too much, but it's not a channel that I really spend a lot of time watching. It's just not my thing. I'd rather just watch smaller channels like you guys and stuff. Yeah, I watch RC Sparks. Who else do I watch? CCXRC, Exo Caged. That's probably the bigger channels I watch. Everything else, I'd rather watch guys who I feel like myself, who I can trust their opinion more because it's their hard cash going into it. So what they say and think. I think there's my little daughter coming through. Did you see my mummy's computer? There's my daughter coming through. You want to come on the camera for a minute?
Yeah.
Come see me. Give me 2 seconds. Here's mini me.
It's on mummy's.
That's alright. You say hiya?
Hiya.
You going to your bed?
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Here you go.
No.
Let's go. She's me cutie. Let's see what with this there. I watch them mainly for planes, but just too much Horizon planes. Yeah, I felt the same. I feel like, yeah, there is a bit too much Horizon there. And even the plane stuff, I'd rather watch. I think this guy, Fat Guy Flies, I watch. He's quite good. And there's another couple of channels that I watch. But yeah, RC Sailors, hopefully they're not watching because I don't really enjoy your channel. But yeah, yeah, she is adorable. She's a little cutie. Scary with an RC car, by the way. Charlene's giving me her cup, obviously. Check this out. I think she's getting ready for her bed now. She's pretty tired. I've not actually checked him out for this guy. I'll have to have a look at that, to be fair. Like Miss RC, yep. Miss bedtime now, I think, though. She's been starting to stay up a little bit later than normal recently, so need to get her sleeping pattern a bit back better again. What else we got going here? You watch him, Master, I know for a fact watches everyone because anytime I see a live I go on or a channel look at something, Master's commenting. This man is YouTube dedicated. And I appreciate it as well watching all my stuff too. Yeah, it's past our bedtime for real, Charlene. I'm glad she came on the camera though. It was good for you guys to see. That's another thing as well we do in the lives is little moments like that. Like you get to know more about me, you see my little daughter there and things. So yeah, it makes it a bit more sort of personal and things like that. So yeah, I do like that. Thinking hopefully now she's getting a little bit older too. I've had her out with the Stampede and I've kind of rebuilt that again. So I'm going to actually start trying to get her into the cars a bit more because she's got Charlene got her. She's got like a little RC car. I forgot what cartoon it was off, but she drives it about the house with a little steering wheel. So it's got a go and a stop button, and she can turn it and steer it with the steering wheel. So eventually, I want to just get her to a normal controller and get her coming out as well. Master still can't get his country's flag. YouTube is funny about, yeah, as which is it's a good thing being funny about showing children, but yeah, there's showing children and there's honest people who just literally got their kids on and stuff. But yeah, there is some weirdos out there. So I like that about YouTube. I do like the child protection stuff because as a dad and having 3 girls in the house, I would kill anybody that looks at the kids the wrong way. So yeah, I like to know that my kids are safe with YouTube because The kids go on YouTube as well. I don't have them signed in on anything. Sometimes I'll let them watch cartoons and stuff on my channel one, but with chats and stuff with kids, to me that's an absolute no-no. Yeah, Earl Muirhead. Yeah, I've seen his kids with him before in some videos. I've not actually watched any Errol stuff for a little while, to be honest with you. Once I wouldn't have had her on, she slipped by me making the coffee. Making the coffee in the princess cup. Check this out. What's that? I built mine first time, put together a purple colour changing one for the wife in an attempt to get her try crawling. Something I've tried to get Charlene back out crawling, but or even with any RC cars, but she just will not come on camera. She's happy to take pictures and stuff, but she won't come on camera at all. YouTube paid a massive fine for kids being on YouTube. Paul's in for a bollocking. Not at all, guys. I've already sold her to you for an X-Max anyway. Well, they're giving RC Sparks for having his son on it. See, I don't see that. When a kid's doing something like that, there's nothing, it's not like they're in a swimming costume or there's nothing, it's just honest, hearty man and son playing with their cars and stuff like that. Because like True Boys, I used to remember watching some of his stuff with his son, and it's good to watch. Like, that's a dad spending time with their kid, and they're showing you it and having fun, laughs and giggles. It's not a bad thing to have children on stuff. It's just how the children are put on it is a different way altogether. The younger grandkids love the 24s, yeah. Amelia there, she loves my wee SCX6 too. Burnt out a motor on one though because I left her playing with it. I went upstairs, came back down, and she'd got it against the couch and she was just holding the throttle and the wheels were going and the little motor burnt out. But it was a wee cheap motor to an easy fix. What are we at now? Oh, you're keeping the X-Max now, guys. It's too late to go back on the deal. I'll give you Char and Lipos for the X-Max. Yeah, wholesome family fun, absolutely. If it's wholesome, it's good. It's just showing people having a good time. Kids, adults together, nothing wrong. But when it goes to things like what I really hate, and you get on TV, not so much on YouTube, you see like clips of these programs like beauty pageants with little tiny girls and stuff, and they're trying to dress them up with makeup and that. That stuff really angers me, and I totally disagree with that. But for me to be standing in a park with my kid fully dressed with a jacket on, driving about a football pitch or an RC car, I don't get how anybody can be offended and YouTube could have a problem with that. Charlene, you don't get to decide. Yeah, pets should be next. There's only so many puppies and kittens you can take, isn't there? So as I also talked about a lot of cars so far tonight, is there any other releases coming out that I don't know about, or I've not mentioned at least, or that anything else come out towards the end of the year? Not really heard of too much more. I'm interested in, obviously, the Kyosho USA 1's out. The Corrali's coming out. Corrali's got the new hub stuff for the cars coming out. We've had the Arma Typhon TLR, got the SCX6, new Kaiju. There's nothing else I'm really aware of coming out. The Kaiju will be interesting, to be fair. Yeah, it's longer and has a wing. The first Kaiju done quite well. I can't remember, I had a Red Cat, never owned one, but it did look to be quite a good car. And for the videos I'd seen it did look quite fast. Traxxas put out a new look. Why did Traxxas do that? That annoys me. It's like, they'll bring out a car, like I fell for it myself. I bought the TRX4 when it came out. Then you get the TRX4 light kit. Then I got the UDR and I got the UDR light kit. They should just have them to start with. Why not? Companies like that, Absima, I've got the Sherpa, comes with all lights, indicators, brake lights. Loads of other companies do it, but Traxxas like to throw everything in as an extra. And that's why there is some Traxxas I still like, but I'm not a big fan of them. Like I said last week, because I think their electronics are terrible, and I've had a lot of bad luck with them. But all the little things that they sell, and sell it in a way to you like, oh, this is a good thing you should get, when to me it's a good thing it should already have came with. So that is something that does annoy me a little bit. And if you're going to do a light kit, front only, I mean, really, why would you do that? Who's got the Absima Sherpa? We think about it. Yeah, Olden. So that's exactly what I feel too. Yeah, it's things that should be stock for sure. Yeah, Traxxas doesn't come equipped with enough stuff. To be fair, they really need to upgrade their electronics very soon, especially in their 3S lineup. Because that puts me off things. It's like some of their 3S stuff still ain't got fans on it and stuff. It's not really good enough. The Sherpa does look brilliant, guys. I was looking at one of them. I look at a lot of cars, so I keep on saying I was looking at, but I don't know if I was ever intending to buying it. But I was watching a few videos on it, and it's a beautiful looking little truck, to be fair. The scale detail on it, it's got all these bits. For example, the TRX4 I've got, all the little bits on that, it comes with RTR and cheaper, and I think it's still got a high-low box as well and 2-speed transmission, so you're getting everything that you have to add to a TRX4 and a cheaper kit for another brand. Yet again, another reason why I think people should be going more towards the smaller brands, as the big brands like, well, two big brands, Traxxas and Horizon, they've got such a hold on the market, and I think they do take advantage of their situation with the way they charge for things. I'm not sure who by DeWalt. I'm not so sure about that. You might be right, but I remember my Traxxas Titan, one of my TRX4 burnt out, and I bought one from China, and I think say it was like £30 UK to get the Traxxas actual motor, and this one was like £12. I never found it again, and it had this Chinese sort of style bag with unknown writing and stuff, and inside it was a Titan motor with another sticker over the top of it. It was the exact same motor, so it's possible it's the same as with DeWalt, but yeah, I'm not 100% on that. But brushed motors, they're probably a lot of them are made in the same places anyway. So the golden Associate has always had the ready to run a team version, then the optional bling upgrades. Same Tamiya. Yeah, it is a proven market strategy for sure. It's plastic gears in the Sherpa. I didn't know that. That's not so great, to be fair. I don't know how that'll last over time, but then again, I say it's not so great. Plastic doesn't rust, so maybe if you're running through water and stuff, maybe plastic gears, maybe they could be better in some ways. But I do like metal transmission, and as much as that as well, it's another thing with Traxxas, which I'm not going on a big knocking Traxxas rant or anything, is that's what I always struggled with the X Max, and I got the Creating 8S. It's like, this is a good car to show you, is if I'm spending money on a car, yeah, I know it's a big scale model toy. Well, I don't talk toy because to me they're scale models, not toys. But I like to have this. I like to have a metal chassis. To me, if you're buying a plastic mold, it should be way cheaper, regardless of all the things about strength and stuff. But I like to feel when I buy a car, I've got metal in it. The base it's metal. It might be negative in some ways, like chassis can bend, or if you have a big crash, it'll fold or whatever. It's heavier. But to me, metal is something you want in an RC for sure. Plastic just oozes Tamiya to me, to be fair. And I do like these, but just for the retroness and the sort of nostalgic reasons, not because they perform very good. It's so funny, this coffee here. So my last coffee, I was feeling pretty cool with my little big Papa Paul cup here. Now I've got my second one. It's Princesses, and I'm looking at myself on the telly thinking, what am I doing? Chad Stevenson just mentioned that about the cup. Yeah, my refill cup. It's a little bit of a downgrade or an upgrade, whatever way you defend it. The big Papa Paul RC cup here, and we've got the Princesses. But yeah, that's how we roll. Hey Kevin, how you doing? First time in the live, nice. Good to have you here. It's been a really good live tonight, though, to be fair, guys. So I'm probably going to cut it off pretty soon, though, just purely because I've been working things. But before we do that, sorry we coming in late, Kevin. I'm kind of thinking about finishing up soon. But before we sort of start going off, is there any topics you want to talk about, or anything you want me to talk about on the next one? What do you want to do? Well, so I don't want to make it all about my ideas. I want to try and get everybody involved as well. So all gears should be hardest metal you can buy. Yeah, we do have the technology, that's for sure. Yeah, that's the thing as well. You get some monkey metal gears, don't you? Some cars, the gears just kind of chew up, and it's like, really, it's a metal gear that should be staying in one piece for sure. But yeah, it's the way of the hobby, I suppose. You just start learning what to buy, what not to buy, and things like that. Sean Darcy's about your lady. How you doing, Sean? Anyway, my man. That's one thing we'll have to do, though. We're speaking about earlier, is we'll have to get this StreamYard sorted and get a few more people on the live as well. I think that'll be pretty fun. Get that done for sure. Yeah, some Traxxas plastics are harder than some metals. I get that. I get plastic is better in some situations, but I'll tell you for a fact, no plastic parts are more expensive than metal parts, so that should be in the prices, to be fair. I just personally like the base of my car to be metal. Plastic arms I'm totally for, because you want flex and things like that, but chassis to me, I just like, it's a personal preference. I just do like metal for sure. A bit of boat video. Yeah, we're talking about that earlier, Chad. We're talking about the boat. The reason my boat has not been out is I need to get new 3S batteries because the ones I've got I've packed in, well, the ones for the boat, so I need to get higher sort of discharge and milliamp batteries for it. And yeah, we're talking a lot about the swimming and a few times I've took a dip for it, but now I've got the dinghy anyway, so that'll not be a problem. I do want to get the boat out very soon, but I've got a good set of batteries for that. And with this weather coming in, although it's a bit colder, there's a lot of, once we get past the sort of windy sort of October, November time, things start getting a bit stiller. And when it gets a bit more calm, I'll definitely be doing a lot more boat stuff. I'm going to get my GPS on my boat because I think I'm pretty positive my Spartan is touching about 70 mile an hour with the prop I've got on it. So I want to try and prove that to myself that I'm definitely getting the speeds that I think I am. So yeah, that's going to be good fun. For you guys that don't know Chad as well, that's actually my cousin. He's came out and done a few videos with me. He's not been out for quite a long time just because he's got to sell a new house and he's been doing that up. But what I might do when I do the next boat video is we'll bring Chad because I heard he's a good swimmer. So if things go wrong, I'll be able to stay dry, film Chad, watch him in the water, and yeah, but if we lose him, we lose him. I've got plenty of other cousins, so losing one cousin won't make a difference to me. As long as he gets my boat back, that'll be good. It's Scotland, it's never can. I don't know, I've had a good summer, to be fair. A bit miserable just now, but yeah, I think the weather in general here has been getting a lot milder over the last few years. It's not been as bad as this. You've got a kayak. Now you've told me that's happening. Yeah, we'll definitely need to get out, Chad, for sure. What we'll do as well, Chad, because you've missed what's been going on, is Charlene's got my new electronics for the Sabio Hyper GT rally car. So when I go to my track next, if you're free, we'll get another car out and maybe get a camera car and get you driving as well. And yeah, because Chad, to be fair, he's not into RC yet. I was trying to convince him to get a Radix 6 or at least buy mine. So I want to get a Radix 4. And although now I'm going to convert my Radix to a road car. This is a talk with a long time ago. But Chad's really likes RC. It's just a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I want to get him more into the bug like myself, coming out doing videos and stuff because he always has good fun. It puts a smile on my face seeing his face when he's driving some of these cars. I say my kids, don't push me. You only get one dad, but I can make more kids. Camera car getting all Hollywood, yeah. You got to up the production. As long as the driving can match it with the cars, if we can keep a reasonable pace, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it would be good to do that, Chad. So yeah, we'll do that because I've been trying to do a lot of this myself. Like if he's watched my crawler video today, there's points in the video where I've got 2 crawlers going at the one time, and I'm literally driving. I've got my camera on the ground filming. I've got one car, one hand, and I'm like holding another one, trying to use my cheek basically to steer it. So it's not easy doing it on your own. It's definitely much better having a hand at times to do stuff. But yeah, just even the thing is as well, because like we'll go back to Chad again, and my cousin being quite happy he's here. To be fair, you can probably tell that. But you get good fun as well. You get catch ups and that. That's why I keep saying I'm going to do like a group event and try to get something organised. Now I'm really guilty for not doing it yet, just because I've been working and I've had other things on and having the kids and stuff. So I really need to make a point of getting something organised. But it is good having somebody else out with you with cars. It's a lot of fun. It's something I do on my own a lot, but having somebody with you does give you extra sort of fun factor at times. Yeah, you drive too long. Yeah, it does get easier. The only thing for me is just try to keep it really straight when you're going along off road. So it's all little fine little adjustments to keep them going straight. So when you're trying to do it with the two cars, something we'll have to work on. Do you think they're holding new releases back due to the shipping crisis? Yeah, possibly. Is this crisis still going on? I mean, how much longer is this going to be? Because for what I was reading, I think it was like the crisis a lot to do with a container shortage or something like that. Because the way it works with how containers go back and forward and get stored, and I don't know, something related to America and China with pricing or something. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. Oops, you already said it. Right, well, what I do think though, guys, is because it's literally a work night for me. I've got to get stuff ready, put my van keys in. When I finished work on Saturday, I came home, put my van keys down. We've got a key holder in the kitchen where I'm supposed to keep all my keys. Charlene keeps on telling me to put my keys there, and I can't find my van keys. So I'm probably going to have to get all this stuff organised for tomorrow morning right now. And I'm probably going to call this live up in a few minutes. So if you guys want to say bye to each other and stuff just now, and we'll be back next weekend. We'll get another chat on. Hopefully we'll have a video up as well. And yeah, get my beauty sleep, that's right. I mean, this bald head doesn't make itself shine, Chad, without some sleep, you know what I mean? I also thought she had wonky eyes. Oh. Right, well, bye, Master. Thanks for coming. And again, to every single person who's came on the live, thank you very much. I've had a really nice night, enjoyed it. We'll do another one next weekend, probably be the Sunday again. But this time what we'll do is I'll put a notification out on the Saturday, and we'll try and make it for about 8:30 again. Try and keep this a regular time and stuff for what we're doing. And yeah, hopefully I'll have more to talk about then, other cars, what we've been up to through the week, and we'll try and get the StreamYard sorted too, so you guys can come on and maybe get, say, 3 or 4 of us chatting at the one time, see how that all works out. So have a nice night, guys. I'm away to my bed. Well, wait, get ready to go to my bed and work tomorrow, back to reality. RC's probably not get a chance till the weekend again. So take care, and I'll see you later. Take this Princess Cup downstairs now to get washed. And yeah, thanks for you saying thanks for having yous. I really mean from the bottom of my heart, thanks to every one of yous for coming, because I really, really do appreciate it and really enjoy it, most importantly. So I'll catch you guys later, and that's me out. Just going to end the stream now. Have a nice night, guys.